Hello traders and welcome in a new daily market analysis video on the 11th of May 2022. This video is brought to you by the market research team at Pure Prime. Basically today we do have some very important news that we will be looking for from the US inflation numbers. So we need to have a look on the economic agenda and what else do we expect on the technical analysis. This will be discussed in today's video. Please stay tuned. Starting with the economic agenda with some numbers that we had from the Asian session and specifically regarding the inflation in the Chinese economy. Of course, the numbers are higher than the previous readings as well as higher than the expectations for the month over month and as well as for the year over year for the month of April. The only thing or the only number that missed basically the previous reading was the PPI or the producer price index. However, as a whole, the numbers show a rise in the inflation in the Chinese economy, which is a trend basically that we're having not only in the Chinese economy, but in the global economy as a whole. Going forward, we do have some numbers that we will be looking for. And on top of that is basically the CPI or the consumer price index, the numbers for the inflation from the US economy, which is key for basically the monetary policy and the economy as a whole for the US or the United States. So we do have the core CPI, consumer price index for the month of April to be announced today, month over month, as well as year over year. And we do have the CPI numbers, which is expected to decline a little bit at 8.1%. Personally, I do believe that the number will be way higher than this. I think we will be having a higher reading than 8.5, which is the previous one. However, this is to be announced at 2:30 GMT. Going forward, we do also have, the CPI is basically 12:30 GMT time. We do have the crude oil inventories also to be announced today, which is a weekly figure. It sometimes might affect the volatility on the oil trading. That was all for the economic agenda for today. Let's have a quick look on the technical analysis and the charts. Gold basically broke below the levels that we mentioned, 1850 or $1,850 per ounce. However, it seems to me that on the 4-hour time frame, this might end up as a false break to the downside. Why? Because we do have the momentum showing equal lows just around the same levels. However, this lower low is basically not printed on the momentum indicator. We're having this engulfing candle. We are again heading for a retest on the 1850 levels. On the 30 minutes time frame, this is what we will be looking for, the price action around 1850. Bearish price action from here should mean that the break, close, and a retest is successful, and basically we will continue the move to the downside. On the other hand, if we had another break to the upside, so this should be a false breakout to the downside, and we might have a correction again to target the levels of 1870. So the key level to me basically that we should watch today on the go trading is 1850. Staying on either side, either to the upside, we will continue the correction to the upside. Staying and holding our trading below should basically constitute this as a successful break, close, and a retest. Going through on the dollar index, basically we didn't have any move yet on the dollar index. We are still roughly trading around the same levels of yesterday. We are having this downward move right now by the beginning of the European session, and we are still having the same technical view. The levels of 103.40 is key. A break, close, and a retest below those levels should basically continue the move back down to the 102.40 levels on the dollar index. The euro and the pound is basically doing nothing. We are still moving in this sideways range. So basically on both the dollar and the gold, we're waiting for just confirmation around the levels that we mentioned. The pound yen is basically starting to somehow consolidate on a 30 minutes time frame. So after this downward move, it here appears to me that somehow the bearish movement is unable to continue to the downside. Why is that? Because we're having a very strong support on the 4-hour time frame that we mentioned. So we'll be again waiting for bullish price action from here to start and initiate our longs back to the 164 levels. That was all for the daily market analysis for today. Thank you so much for watching, and please stay safe.